Well, on to a second lead today here on the morning call, French presidential hopeful Emmanuel Macron sparked outrage back home among conservative and far-right parties for criticizing his country's colonial past. Now, the centrist Macron said French actions in Algeria, which achieved independence in 1962 after 8 years of war, were, I quote, "Colonization is a crime. It's a crime against humanity. It's truly barbarous, and it's part of a past that we need to confront by apologizing to those against whom we committed these acts," end quote. Now, nationalists like Marine Le Pen, who is polling highest of all the presidential candidates but predicted to lose to Macron if they face off in the second round, said his remarks were tantamount to treason. Now, while Macron said colonization brought about some civilization, it also resulted into some barbaric acts against Algerians. And political parties in Algeria have long denounced the refusal of the French authorities to recognize and apologize for the crimes committed by colonial France in Algeria. However, the closest a French leader has ever come to issuing a formal apology was in 2012 when President François Hollande acknowledged his country's unjust and brutal occupation.
And it should also be noted that it's not only the far-right wing that has been outraged by the controversial statements of Emmanuel Macron. In a meeting in Compiègne, Conservative presidential candidate François Fillon also blasted the absence of a political spine on the running candidate, and I quote, "This hatred of our history, this constant repentance is undignified for a presidential candidate. It wasn't so long ago that Mr. Macron recognized some of the positive aspects of colonization. This means that Emmanuel Macron has no spine."
And we're being joined by an expert on to these issues where we are asking today, what is the reaction of this assertion and discourse by Macron?
Personnellement, j'estime que ce discours fait partie de la campagne électorale.
Personally, I think that this speech is part of the electoral campaign of Mr. Macron. He is trying to woo Algerians who are settled in France from Algiers. So for me, it's a campaign of charm to Algerians and also a nod to Algerian authorities, because for us, not so long ago in another speech, Mr. Macron had raised the issue of colonization. He noted the positive points like civilization, and today he has a different one by saying that it is a crime against humanity and that France should recognize it. I think that is not enough. We need to see the actions, material and moral compensation. It's a matter of memory and dignity.
Un dédommagement matériel et surtout moral, parce que c'est ça, c'est une question de mémoire et de dignité.